Sunglasses today, Laura. What's going on? What are we doing? It's the first week of spring.
It is. It was your idea.
It was, because I'm feeling like the sun's out. Spring is here.
Yeah.
We've been a bit unwell. We're a little bit, we're in recovery, like we're bouncing back. We're not at our absolute best, but the sun reinvigorates us, and it was so bright. The future was so bright we had to wear sunglasses.
I do those unpacking videos when I unpack my bag.
They're excellent.
For my desk, and I just ramble. And I had a comment where someone was like, love what you're talking about, but please take off your sunglasses. And it's like, how about you record yourself at 8 a.m. in the morning before your day started and you've got any makeup on, and put it on the internet for everyone to see without your sunglasses.
That's right. But as importantly, the future's so bright that you have to wear them in the morning.
Sunglasses just cover all sins, hey?
Well, you know my view.
What's that?
The weather nor the time of day should ever dictate whether or not you wear sunglasses,
I
or
agree.
if you're inside or outside.
I have a whole subset of sunglasses for overcast days where they've got the lighter tint in the lens.
I've seen them.
But I think that this bit's over now and we should be able to look each other in the eye.
Okay. Well, I've thrown the schedule out, as always. And,
what a shock.
But I've got a little list. I've got my little note list. Is this working, this note list? Does this work for you? The way that we run this little fiasco that we're running here?
It's fine.
I have a note from you. Oh, sending me little notes. High performers. I'll just stop there because I think you know how to fill in the rest of it. This is a tricky topic. You raised it. I've been thinking about it. It's a really good topic.
Look, it wasn't just about high performers. The concept that I wanted to discuss is if you set a standard for yourself personally about how you behave in the world, how you show up to work, how you parent, how you are in a relationship, what does it do to you? Or is it a good move to lower your standards to meet those around you? And because I'm seeing it, I saw it in myself very recently, where I felt like there was a lot of practitioners who were kind of wanting to do the bare minimum.
Lawyers, you mean?
Lawyers, putting things on me to do in transactions and stuff. And then I just started pushing back, which isn't my MO. I'm always
You're
like...
a get along, go along person.
It's 10 more minutes of my time. Oh, sure, whatever it takes to get it done.
Yeah.
But I was getting really grumpy. And then I thought about it, and I thought about two things. The first is, well, that's not who I am. So just because it makes me annoyed, I don't have to set this boundary. I can keep being me if I choose it. And the second thing is, well, why am I seeing this? And I was thinking about in professional services and just generally the squeeze is on money-wise.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
So if you're in professional services, clients want to pay less and less and less. If you think about people's wages, cost of living, everyone feels like they're getting screwed.
No, they are. But yes, they feel it, yes.
And so I can understand a professional service provider who's been squeezed into a fixed fee, not just talking about lawyers, talking about anyone. And it's funny, I just don't understand how clients don't realise the impact of doing that at some point they're going to put their pens down and say, well, you don't value me or my time. I've now expended my value in exchange for what you're willing to pay me, and now I'm done. And similarly for employees who are like, well, why am I going to go over and above? I'm not getting paid well. You pay Joe Blow next to me to do a shitty job.
Yeah.
The same amount. I'm here working so hard every single day. What for? So I don't know where I'm getting to with that. I would like,
thought line, though.
I would like you to talk about, before I'm going to opine for a minute.
No, but it's a good thought line.
I love that word. A client actually emailed me yesterday and said, Laura, please opine on the changes that the other side wants or something. And I was
like cogitate.
And I was like, gosh, I haven't used that word for such a long time, opine. I love opining. Anyway, I would like you to talk about what you should do if you are a high performer or you are exceeding your peers and not being recognised for it, or everyone's being treated equally even though you are clearly the front runner. But I want to talk about it from the more personal development, spiritual, whatever, in terms of what message...
Not letting it damage your soul.
Yeah, what message are you sending yourself to make a conscious decision to reduce the quality of services you provide, or to be a lesser friend, or not be a kind person because everyone around you...
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Is to the unconscious decision sometimes that over time you get eroded down, and then
Absolutely.
you find yourself like somewhere you really don't want to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it is, you do have to sometimes shake yourself out of it, because we get so used to being in this world where it's like every man for themselves. But I think that we should have some pride in who we are and say, I don't care how low everyone else is going. That's not who I am. And I will continue. And look, sometimes you're going to get hit, right?
Almost, yes, constantly.
But wouldn't you rather get hit living up to the values and the standards you set for yourself than getting hit and being a lesser person? Like the other day, I was walking home from the office, and there was a woman and her elderly mother were in front of me, and they were standing at a street, just a very, like a small side street, waiting to cross. And there was a break in the traffic, and so all of the cars wanting to turn right into that street were just piling in, one after the other. The elderly mother had a cane, her daughter was holding her up. No one was stopping for this person to cross. And, you know, it's just so easy to be in your own world and be like, well, they're trying to turn, I'm trying to go home, it's not my problem.
The next person's problem.
Next person's problem. And I just stood in front of the road and stopped the traffic. Learnt that from you, by the way. And the guy who was turning right then was in the middle of the road, and he was very angry at me. And I thought, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to be like you. I'm going to put myself out there to get yelled at, because God forbid you have to wait 30 seconds to turn into a street from the comfort of your car, while this poor woman just wants to cross the road. I don't know where I got to there. Anyway, it's very easy.
I'm loving this though. Keep going.
It's very easy to be in this world where everyone's just thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
No one's putting themselves out there to do the right thing, the kind thing, the selfless thing. I'm not saying I'm a bloody Mother Teresa, by the way.
No. And not that no one's doing it, but that it's like it's happening everywhere you look.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can have this much broader conversation about society and where's it coming, what's it coming to,
The
and
cause, yeah.
where are we going. On a personal level, don't you want to get up in the morning and decide, who am I going to be in the world? Am I going to be that prick that can see this woman needs to cross the road and turn right anyway because I've got a gap?
To steal 12 seconds.
Or am I the person that goes, please cross safely? And so, yeah, I caught myself a few weeks ago doing this with my counterparties, where I was like, no, I'm not changing that part of the clause. You change it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've never done that in my professional career, ever. But it was just a build-up over months and months where I'm seeing this, and I'm like, why am I doing everybody's work? And then it's like, you know why? Because I'm Laura Racky, and I do what I need to do to get it done, to move things along, and it doesn't cost me anything. So anyway, we've all been in positions where it feels like everyone else is taking the easy road. What's the upside for putting in the extra?
Yeah.
I get it, but I would much rather go to bed at night and know I made decisions that align with my values and my soul than just be like everybody else.
That was a great episode. Thank you everyone for coming. That was extraordinary. That was...
Okay, take it easy.
No, like you just, like watching you think it through is really interesting. And...
Because like day to day it changes, right? And also, like, none of us want to feel like we're being taken advantage of. No one wants to feel like you're just putting your chin out there to get hit time and time again. But, you know, we could all choose to be the asshole. Sure.
Yeah.
And
then,
lots of people do, and they're very successful.
And then what happens?
And that's cool. But...
Okay, so if we can...
yes.
I want to bottle that, because I'm going to record that and listen to that. every morning, I think.
It's all right. I'll just repeat it to you every day if you like.
But high performers,
Yes.
and this doesn't even mean like, we're talking about elite performance, but people who set standards among people who don't.
Yeah.
People who put the shoulder to the wheel around people who are willing to take the mick, right? If you're a person that's setting standards, life or business or work or whatever, you're going to come up against a lot of people, not a majority, a lot of people who don't, and some who definitely will take the snakes while you're taking the ladders, right? How do you fix it? Can I come at it from two angles here? I'm going to come at it, I don't know if people are going to be as thrilled about this angle, but from a leadership point of view, employer, if you've got a decent sized team, if you have a team where you have high performers and you're allowing the bottom 10% of stragglers to get away with whatever they're getting away with, and whatever that matters to your group, values, obligations, responsibilities, if you're letting them skate, your best 10%, they're going to go.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
It is, the clock is ticking, right? And their performance is going to degrade in the time that it takes for them to go, right? So you're going to lose everything.
Yeah.
By allowing the bottom 10% to get away with whatever they're getting away with, right? So you have to lift their game, or you have to move them out. It's a fact. But when you're actually in that situation, which many of us have, and I've probably been the other side too. Like when I was young, I was the corner cutter. Make no mistake. If you decide to set standards for yourself in whatever category you're talking about, you're going to come up against these people, and you have two choices. You can ignore them and just but that takes actual mental fortitude to say, I'm not going to be interested in what other people are doing. I'm running my own race.
Yes.
And I'm giving this advice to you as well, and to me as well, as to say, okay, we have to constantly remind ourselves to say, do you know what? What anybody else does is actually none of our business. What we do is our business. And are we perfect? No, but this is what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
So you either ignore them, build a tunnel, run your own race, or you try to change the situation. Now that means you might go to a senior person, or you might do some mentoring of your own, or you might try and raise the energy of those around you. If they're a person of goodwill who's just in a bit of a rut, you can turn them around. But if you don't think there's any value in turning them around, or they're not interested, helping people who aren't that interested in being helped is a one-way ticket to pain, right? So you either ignore them, or you start making moves to raise the talent average.
Hang on, but you're not the manager.
No.
Your peers. How do you raise the talent average then in your team if they're your peers?
So there's a couple of ways you can do it. If they're peers, you can go to a manager and say, I would like to lift the performance. I think we can, and we've got a couple of people who I think would be willing, and you become like a champion. So you don't have to be a manager to be a champion. You become a champion of an area that is falling over. And you become, with a mandate from a manager, to say, I want to lead us out of this. I need your help. I hate working in this environment. This is ridiculous. We can lift everyone. It can be so much more fun and so much more engaging. Can we do this? Now, if you have leadership ambitions, this is a good thing to do. First of all, to tell you if you're at the right company. If they're like, no, not interested. What are you talking about? Get in your box, right? This place is probably not for you. But if they're like, you know what? That's fantastic. This is a great opportunity. Let's work something out. That's fun. That's something you can actually lift the productivity of the whole team and get a bit excited. And then if nothing happens, then you can maybe move on. But so you either ignore them, run your own race, find your right tribe over time, or you go to the people that matter on the things that matter to you and ask them if we can make some changes.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to back your changes, then maybe you make a decision on whether this is the place for you or not. Does that make sense?
Yes.
As far as protecting your soul, I think this is actually, it might be a bit dramatic, but I think this is a serious question. This is a really serious question that, I mean, this is not any value set that you hold yourself to is only for you. To try and hold other people to it, I think, personally, is a mistake. It's going to let you down.
It's very true.
You get, and what right do I have to hold someone else to my values, right? But if I go out into the world and I say I want to, I think, mostly people are good, for sure. But if you're going to hold a value, it's for you. And it's to be held internally. It's not to be spread around to everybody else.
And then part of that is not getting angry at everybody else.
Because they got their own value set or not.
Right? Like the guy who was screaming at me because I stopped him in the middle of the road, I just smiled at him. I mean, why would I be angry? Like, cool. You can be you. You do you. We're doing this. We're crossing the road. Thanks very much. And yeah, like that's the other thing. You can get bogged down in getting angry.
Of course.
Why doesn't everybody else behave like me?
Yes.
And you're right. That is such a trap.
Well, that's an intractable problem.
Can we just go back to, you're talking about the high performers and it's only a matter of time. I had a job, reminded me, I had a job where my boss told me that, I was like ranked equal to my peer. And I was like uber aware at the difference between output between myself and this other person.
Okay.
Like I'm talking 10% versus 150%. And there was not a lot of visibility by the boss. They weren't aware.
Okay.
And that singular conversation was like a bomb may as well have gone off. And that was it. I was out of there. And it was just a matter of time.
Yep.
It's like, are you joking?
Yes.
You actually think I'm on the same level as this person?
Laura, to be honest, this is why a lot of companies are not suited for high performers.
And the reality is, like, lots of people are happy to be recognised by their salary or by title. And for me, having this person not recognise my output, that they could have paid me 3 times as much and I still would have been like, if you are putting me on the same rung as this person, we got a problem. Anyway, it was with much, much joy when I resigned from that role on my handover day that I presented that boss with a 10-page WIP document. So it was landscape and it was line items of every single thing that I was working on. And it was 10 pages long. And the look on that person's face when I handed that in, I was like, yeah, see ya. Anyway, I've obviously got some deep unresolved issues there.
But we both have our own, we have our own
so
issues.
So what I'm saying is I have a lot of empathy and sympathy for people who do set their standards high and don't get recognised and then look around and think the people around me think I'm doing the same as everybody else.
Yeah, it can be quite disruptive to.
And so then the lure is you go, well, I'm going to do less in my job or I'm out of here. Anyway, have we done this one to death now?
Look, but see, this is a serious problem for companies. All right, I'll finish this quickly. Is that most companies are best suited, I'll be honest, with like just mediocre sort of happy-go-lucky, happy-go-along types.
But do you know, it took me, I don't know how old I was when I realised that actually is a conscious choice of an organisation.
Oh yeah, and the smart ones embrace it.
Honestly, if you're listening to this and you think every company wants high performers,
almost none
across their business, like, no, but you're laughing.
No, but
to
it's
me,
true.
I was shocked when I actually realised this.
Yeah.
That some roles, firstly, don't require, they're just very run-of-the-mill, process-based, whatever, and that it's in the company's interest to have people who, and by the way, I'm not being critical, people who aren't overly ambitious, who don't want to develop, move, be promoted. They're very comfortable to come to work, do the same job they've done for 20 years. Again, not a criticism.
Not at all.
But for me, I had never put myself in that person's shoes or the organisation's shoes to understand that these people are like the kind of engine room of a lot of organisations.
But Laura, of the whole world.
Right.
Right.
But like, I know I'm saying something probably very obvious, but did not occur to me until much later in my career.
Look, different companies can handle different amounts. So there's companies can handle a few stars in specific areas.
Yes.
Right? Usually sales can go out and send, if you've got an absolute beast sales team, they can go, because it doesn't matter, because they don't interact with anybody.
Yes.
Right?
Plus, they're all competing against each other.
Right. So the incentive set's really clear. where there's muddy incentive sets, right, and hierarchies, it's very hard to have people who are really ambitious and people who aren't. It's actually really hard to do.
Yeah.
And companies don't do it well. So if you're going to do it, you have to do it with eyes wide open that you're going to have tension and that super performers, super chickens, are going to leave or get annoyed. And if you let your bottom 10% be problematic and lazy and drop anchor, you're going to lose all your best talent if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you want. I don't know. Like, so, but yes.
Or you acknowledge and you're smart about leading and pushing the high performers and working with those who are content to just chug along.
Well, what I encourage companies to do is to build more hierarchy. So where a lot of the challenge comes from is lower Racky at 28. Let's say like if you've got someone 25 to 30 who's on the up but doesn't quite have the skill set yet. So they haven't built the years of experience. So the ones who are in their 40s are like, they're still a kid to me, right?
Yeah.
You build them a new little hierarchy sandbox to grow and set them loose.
Yeah.
You actually make like a mini sales. You make them into their own little entity and see what they can do and see if they can go out and do something. So building out from the middle is actually a really good way to handle high performers. If you've got a high performer, they can't go that way because of there's hierarchy rules.
Yeah.
You create a new side hierarchy. Find something they're interested in.
I love that.
Let them go and hunt. Imagine if they'd said to you, listen, we think you could go and start something. You don't know what you're doing. You're basically an unguided missile, but you've got a bit, this is it. We would love to back you, give you a staff member or two, pick an area you're interested in, go and chase it.
Yeah.
Now, you might have fallen flat on your face, right? You might have gone out there not knowing enough about it, mate, but maybe not. You might have gone and built a $2 million business in 6 months. Who knows? And instead you left. So lost. And if you're losing people at the peak of their energy with ability, who are because you can't fit them into your hierarchies, build new ones.
Love it.
Create new streams. Explode innovation from the middle. Now, should we put our sunglasses back on because the future is so bright?
No, I like to see your face.
Well, thank you. Here we go. I want to talk to you about 5% deposit. I don't know, did you notice this news story? I know this is so exciting for you.
Thrilled.
No, this is, I mean, you know, people will have heard this, you know, we're making it easier for first home buyers to get into homes and this sort of thing. And look, all the information's not out yet, but I just want to do a quick little segment on it.
You know, I'm that old that these existed when I was young.
Without LMI?
No, with LMI, but you could still borrow.
The LMI.
I bought, now just to be clear, I'm no property mogul. Things went in a different direction for me.
Yes.
However, sorry, just to add some flavour to this conversation, Christian. I know it's going to be very exciting. But in, what year would it have been? 2006, I think. Maybe a couple of years earlier. 1-bedroom apartment, South Yarra. The purchase price was $225,000. And I remember this number. I think there was stamp duty exemptions. I remember this number because this is what needed to be worked towards in terms of savings. $11,500 was all that was needed. Like, I'm talking whole kit and caboodle to buy that property.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember. It was a joke. Anyway.
If only, anyway.
So now government is basically backstopping loans by covering the LMI, as far as I can tell. They're based like lender's mortgage insurance. So if people borrow with under 20% deposit, they have to pay this insurance.
Yeah.
Now, this insurance is a little bit of a rot because it kind of only it actually protects the banks, doesn't protect
Plus,
the person.
don't they generally just add it to the debt? It's not like you're paying it.
Whether they do or they don't.
It's not real money.
That's right. But what they're doing is now they're going to allow first home buyers to come in at 5% deposit. Now, that all sounds like a great idea. It's like we can get more people into homes, right? This is going to end very badly, and I'll tell you why. Is that it's going to add tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars to the loans for people, for starters, right? For starters. It's going to push up prices because demand is going to increase. Simple supply and demand. Demand is going
Yes.
to increase. Supply is not going to increase. Prices are going to go up. Right? So loans are going to get bigger and longer, and prices are going to go up. So serviceability is going to be almost exactly where it was 6 months from now.
But is this not, just going back, is this not what, we're not reaping what we sowed 20 years ago with what I just mentioned already?
Yeah, so the
Like-
it's all demand side, right? So all it is increasing the people that are coming to the market to buy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Right now it's like 7 times earnings or something to buy a house when 30 years ago it was 3. It's a catastrophe for first home buyers. We have pulled the rug on 2 generations of kids. And I get pushback on this from people. We bought a house. Of course you can still buy a house. Of course, if you're disciplined and committed, you can still buy a house. But the deal is a bad deal.
Yeah.
It's an unfair deal, and it is entirely created by government choice.
And are the buyers coming in now going to have the same upside that those going in 20, 30, 40 years ago had?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that because
What I'm saying is people are overextending themselves
yes,
to get in.
Yes.
Are they going to end up like our parents' generation where their property
They
price...
10x their property. Yeah.
Are they or not? Are they just going to keep having to tip money into these mortgages for no upside? I don't know.
That's the $5 million question, right? And if you actually look, people get really inflamed about this. So I'm not really trying to pick a fight on this, except to say this: this sort of policy and the continuation of this Ponzi scheme policy is going to be a problem, a big problem. Canada and New Zealand have cut their immigration numbers in the last 12 months. Their property prices are by their definition, in free fall.
Right.
Okay. Not in free fall like a collapse, but by the standard of what they're accustomed to,
Yeah.
they're in free fall. Not forever go up. Anyone who thinks that this is, we need more supply, no matter how, we are a top 2 or 3 per capita builder in the world. Hang on, let me say that again. Australia is a top 3 per capita builder of houses in the world. And we have a massive shortage.
Yeah.
Can no one do the math on that? Right? Now, people will say investors, I agree. Like there's some perverse incentives for investment. There's all these other things that you could change. Zoning, supply side, construction cost, government, I think a new build is like 45% government cost.
Ridiculous.
Right? And so there's all these things that could be fixed, for sure, tomorrow, could
Yeah.
be fixed in government control. Nearly all these are in the hands of the government, okay?
Yeah.
5% deposit is the laziest rock bottom lever that's going to cause pain. Yes, there's going to be some winners come out of it, people who are on decent salaries.
The young people who vote for the governments that bring that.
No, but
in.
let's not get political. I don't even mean political about it. I mean, like, let's say they think this is the right move, right? They might actually think this is a good move, these people. Like, there are going to be young people, first home buyers, not even necessarily young people, first home buyers who are on decent money, who are paying huge rents right now,
Yep.
that couldn't save a deposit that now can get it, let's say.
Yeah.
Right? And that might be better off for them. But it might not.
Here's something that I've not looked into or thought about in any depth, but I'll just throw it out there. Since the last round of 5% lending,
Yes.
we've had banking royal commissions.
Yes.
We have responsible lending obligations.
Know your customer.
No, I'm not so interested in that. I'm just opining here.
Again, like that.
Possibly, actually, Christian, no one is going to lend because of the responsible lending rules. It's like there should be quite strict requirements around serviceability and capacity. And this policy might look lovely and shiny, but I'd be very interested to know how many first home buyers borrowing and leveraging to that extent would meet responsible lending requirements.
So it means 2 things are possible. Option 1,
Makes
exactly
no
that
difference.
happens and it doesn't change anything,
Yeah.
right? So they're still locked out.
Yeah.
Option 2, What's the next choice for the government?
Well, they loosen the lending guidelines, which would be catastrophic.
I reckon that might have happened about 6 years ago, if my memory serves, but I don't want to quote it. I remember there being some loosening in 2019, something like that.
I haven't looked at it for a long time.
These are all the tools that the governments will use to keep the Ponzi going, because this country, well, you can't even take 5 steps. Oh, what's your property situation? You can't go to a barbecue. Oh, we're looking at a property. Like, it's so boring. I just want to give you an alternate vision. I didn't plan to do this today, but I'm going to do it. There is an Australia that is not property obsessed. A version of Australia is not property. If you look at the value of Australian residential property versus other countries, it is obscene. It's impossible. Yeah. It's actually right. So anyway, we could remove a lot of property incentives, move them back to business incentives, get people investing in businesses and ideas and innovation again, which we do none of anymore. Because all the incentive, if you had $100, there is no incentive to invest in a business. All the incentive is to dump it in some property trust, right? Because that's where all the incentives are. Tax incentives, everything.
Safe as houses.
Safe as houses, mate. We move those incentives back to innovation, growth, business, entrepreneurship. Within 5 years, this country could be totally different. Totally different, for all the best reasons. And we bring property prices down. We suck we suck all the nonsense out of property. We move into new ideas and innovation and drive, and we could totally change the way this country works.
When's the next federal election?
It doesn't matter.
When is it?
2 years away.
Christian Cunningham for Prime Minister. You heard it here first.
People have asked. I'm not doing it. Not to run. People sort of try to nudge me into like, we'll back you. You should go on. No. No, we're in a bad season for growth and innovation. We're in a good season for pretend and extend. That's where we are. Pretend and extend. It's not bad, but where it ends is problematic. Like, I did a video yesterday on the GDP data, and people are going to fall asleep now.
Yeah, we're getting close.
I'll be really quick. This quarter, we had GDP and GDP per capita growth.
Great.
Right? 0.6 GDP. That means that if you do that over a year, that's 2.5% growth, which actually is like the bottom of the range for good.
Lovely.
Do you know why? Everyone went on holiday, Anzac and Easter. It was local hotels, restaurants.
So it's just comparing against last quarter.
Quarter.
Right.
We even had GDP per capita growth, which is great. So, but then government spending up, business spending down. Defence, we did these, they had manoeuvres and training with other countries.
Oh, right.
So that cost a lot of money. That's GDP, right? So it's interesting. But it's like, there's nothing innovative in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to get excited about growth. And that is what I could foresee if someone could capture that. It's a big unwinding because we're so accustomed to all roads to property. But I think 5% deposits, I hope some people win out of it. But I think it's a really poor policy, and I think it's going to end really bad. Really has a potential to end really badly.
Excellent.
Am I too far? Is that too far?
No.
I don't think it's too far. Okay. What do we got here? We've got allowing poor performance because of personal issues. We've got managing your emotional reactions. And precision praise.
They're all a bit boring,
They're not
aren't
very
they,
thrilling, are they?
No.
All right, let's have a fun segment.
Oh.
What are you most optimistic about?
Just put me on the spot with these things. Okay, I'll be here's my optimism. And we've had this conversation. And you can say I'm woo-woo, you can say I'm crazy, that's fine. You know, people are talking about AI, destruction of human race as we know it. We're just going backwards. I have this optimism.
I'm optimistic so far. Keep going.
I have this optimism about the human race. And this, by the way, this isn't like potentially always positive. Since the beginning of time that we know of, human beings have faced ups and downs, to put it lightly. And yet we find a way to innovate, produce, progress, grow. You know, people are talking about AI. What about the industrial age?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have a complex discussion about all the horrible things going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my optimism, which sucks, but part of the optimism is it's always been the same and it will always continue to be the same, is my way of looking at these things.
I think you have to be mature enough to look at the human condition in its full
Right.
capacity.
So
Yes.
sure, we can say that the AI is the beginning of the end, or it's a new beginning. It's just one of human
Thousands
kinds evolutionary steps that will just lead us into a different generation, into a new age. I think that human beings have this phenomenal capacity to make something from nothing with our brains and our ideas.
Well, that's undeniably true.
Look at the world. You think the caveman thought that we would be talking into our phones, yelling at ChatGPT like
Let's
I
try
do?
something simpler. Look at this microphone, right? No, look at this microphone and say, one day someone decided
Yes.
to capture our voices and spread them around the world.
So that's where my optimism is, in our capacity to think and have ideas and develop concepts. It's pretty cool.
And work through really crappy periods in
Yeah. We also have the same capacity to harm one another, destroy conflict, all of that.
ego.
So to me, both of those things will prevail and will always prevail.
So you were 60-40. Are we talking 60-40 or are we talking 90-10?
I'm sorry, I don't think about things in those sort of binary ways. Just both are, not in a percentage.
Okay.
So whether you think that's highly negative or not, I think it's very optimistic and
How's it
positive.
negative? You're saying despite all the shit, we're still here and we're growing and
doom
powering.
and gloom, and we say this is terrible and this country is awful and this region this, and I don't know, tell me one point in the history of mankind where these sorts of things were not existing, and at the same time phenomenal development and progress was also occurring.
I mean, what's interesting is things are better than they've ever been on every front. They actually are.
Careful saying that.
What's true? Statistically.
A lot of people are going to tell you how
Would
terrible
you like me to
it is.
take that out?
No, I'm just preempting how much everyone is going to want to tell you how horrible the world is today.
Yeah, and it is horrible, and it is also better than it's ever been.
And it's beautiful.
Can it be both things?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Of course it can. It's both things.
It's horrible and it's
It's
beautiful.
beauty and beast. Right?
Like us.
Yeah, that's right. The beast. That's okay. I can deal with it.
So,
Okay, so if I
is
pivot
that optimistic, Christian?
Of course it is. You're basically saying that humanity, despite impossible odds, which I'm actually staggered by the odds. And when I think about, I was trying to explain to the teenager the other day about the impossible odds of something, and he's very smart. Like he gets it, but he's not as overawed by it as I am. And maybe it's an age thing. Maybe in your teens, you're not mature enough to look at the whole board and go,
How is this possible?
how is this possible?
Oh, I don't know. I think the younger generation are just more accepting of the possibility. Like they're not surprised
Look,
by
that's
it.
very possible, but also I think their head can't see the whole board. They can't understand the complexity of human nature.
They take it for granted.
They can't understand that no one's pushed the button to send the missile, right? They can't understand that. And yet I'm thinking to myself, the odds every day of what's going on here are fucking zero.
Yeah.
Right? They're impossible.
Look at us. We're just these soft little meat bags. We don't have any physical strength,
No.
right?
Not on a global scale, but they've dominated everything.
With our brains.
But
It's pretty cool.
The ideas is crazy. Just look around and you say and I listen to these. I was listening to a guy talking about undersea mining, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is a very interesting one. And the impact is much lower. Obviously, he's talking his book, so I suspect there's an asterisk. But compared to on land, the amount of ore that needs to be pulled out of the ground is like a minuscule percentage of
Right.
damage, right? And they're getting it out, and now they're like I look at all these innovative ways that people are finding new ways to make new materials and do all this sort of thing, and it's just insane. It's just insane.
And that's what, again, punters listening, watching, just chill out. We're not having a climate crisis conversation. Hang on.
But no, shit's terrible. It's all terrible, but also...
Again, when people talk about finite resources in the earth... God, please don't put this on TikTok. When I read about that and hear about that, my optimistic mind says, well, we will find another way.
The next thing, yeah.
Like, the world is not going to end if something runs out.
Do you know what people...
And sorry, like, it's going to seem so flippant, and I don't mean it to be. I'm just saying, like you said, our capacity to find new ways is endless. So
can I this is an interesting point, if you don't mind, if I may, on indulgence,
go on.
Madam Speaker. What people have to understand is that the incentive to do it is only driven by necessity.
Yeah.
Okay. Or profit motive. Right? So either we've run out of X, we now have to develop Y.
Yes.
There's an incentive because of necessity.
Yeah, wasn't that necessity is the mother of invention?
Right.
Mother, by the way.
That's right. So, but that's what's needed to get these world-class, like it's like necessity, right?
Yes.
That's what drives it. Now, the necessity might be Mark Zuckerberg can't get a date, wants to talk to girls. So he comes up with the social network, right? Whatever that thing was called, the Facebook. And that becomes what it becomes, right? So the necessity might be small.
Oh my gosh.
Hang on, I'm not finished.
Sorry.
Madam Speaker. So the necessity might be small,
Yeah.
but it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Then there's the profit motive. And this is where I think people are getting a little bit... I understand it's grubby, but profit motive drives innovation.
Sure.
It is a double-edged sword because it also creates obscene wealth. Okay? And obscene wealth is obscene. But obscenely good, innovative outcomes are obscenely beneficial. Like it's aligned, right? So I understand that people will look at a billionaire or whatever and say, "Oh, why have they got that? We don't need to have billionaires." And of course, they're right. But without that profit motive, some of these things would never have happened. And it is
because what's the point of
that's
the
what they're driven
price?
by,
Yeah.
and it is ugly business. And I wish there was another way. And if wishing were dollars, we'd all have everything we need. But the reality is, there's necessity.
Yeah.
And there's profit motive.
Yeah. I'm going to butcher this because it was just something that I flicked through a carousel on Instagram yesterday. And it was a woman who was, I can't remember where, from Africa. And she was in the VC space and she was in Silicon Valley.
Oh, wow.
And she said she was watching pitch after pitch, you know, these kids being like, how to find the best pad thai in a restaurant in LA apps and stuff like this. And, you know, all these people wanting to pour money into these apps. And then she was bringing in these kids who from her country who were pitching things like, how do you have a school if you don't have a school? How do you have water if you don't have a... And she's like, and time after time, these VCs were like, oh, not scalable. Oh, you know, when they were finding out that these kids were building this stuff with no money.
Yes.
And this is the thing, like you either have these perverse incentives like Silicon Valley pumping millions of dollars into absolutely bullshit apps.
Yes, yes.
And then you've got these people with actual necessity.
Yes.
Who are doing the same thing in terms of like tech development, concept development, delivery for nothing.
Nothing.
Because they're filling an actual real need. It was so cool. And it was just, again, on your incentives point, it's like sometimes you need both. Sometimes there's got to be a money incentive, but sometimes it's just necessity and things can happen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can't remember the stat, but it's something like at a certain $1,000 of wealth to like $4,000. It may not be that, but don't quote me. People can start looking after the environment because they can stop thinking
Yes.
hour to hour. So they'll stop burning like things for heat
It's
and
like
whatnot.
that
right?
fantastic data around supporting women in these countries where once they give women education,
Yep.
they
Give.
educate women, they create spaces for them, they make sure that they are employed, that when you look after the women, everybody benefits.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a weird segue, but anyway.
But no, but like we're talking about incentives, right? Like you have to understand you can challenge it. I'm open to the challenge, but as far as I can tell, it's necessity or it's profit motive, right? Now, profit isn't necessarily money. To some people, profit is status. To some people, profit is other things, right? Like, so I'm not just saying it's cash. Sometimes it's power, whatever it is, but these are the two incentives. Have we got time to go? Or?
Can I finish?
You
have
can
us
finish
wind up?
however you see fit. I'm
And
in
you're
your
going to be
hands.
surprised.
Okay.
I've got something to tell you.
Okay.
We are signing up to compete in Big Group Hugs we are signing up to compete in Big Group Hugs inaugural Pickleball for Purpose challenge. Have you ever played pickleball, Christian?
So I'm just letting this, just give me a moment. Okay, so big group hug, inaugural, pickleball.
Yeah.
Is that the bat tennis thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me, sorry, we're signed up, are we?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
7 November, you and I, we're going to be on a team together. We're going to dominate. We better win.
Hang on a minute. We're playing in a pickleball tournament on the 7th of November.
Yes.
Big group hug.
Yes, it's called Pickleball for Purpose. So
This is fun.
corporates are putting teams in a tournament to compete against each other. You can also, so you put your team in and then you can also fundraise for your team.
Right.
But, I'll tell you, of all the things that are important to me, I want to win the tournament. Let's Just Start podcast team, Christian needs to win.
Can I just ask one question, Coach?
Sure.
Have you ever played pickleball?
What does that matter?
I've never played pickleball.
We just talked about being optimistic humans.
But not delusional.
I'm not delusional. It doesn't take any strength. It's just a little thing.
So we want to win against people probably who've played before. Should we practice?
Okay. What will we wear? That's the most important
That's a
thing.
good
Can
question.
we get uniforms, please?
Of course.
Excellent.
Of course we can.
Will you wear short shorts?
I only have short shorts.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're playing pickleball for purpose for big group hug. That's a mouthful. On the 7th of November. And so what you're saying is that anyone who's got a corporate team that wants to enter should be entering
Yes.
to get beaten by us.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm looking forward to this now.
Am I going to regret saying that I wanted to win? Should I have played it cool?
Yeah, you've shown your cards, but it could be a double bluff.
You never saw me play netball, did you?
Nope.
Oh, gee, it was fun.
I'll be scared.
My favourite thing to do, I loved playing the mixed netball,
Of course.
and I would be the centre.
Quickly.
There was always a bloke in centre. Mm-hmm. And it was my life's purpose for that 40 minutes on the netball court to absolutely blow them up.
To embarrass them.
To run to the other end of the court and them not make it back.
Forth.
God, it gave me so much pleasure. Anyway.
Pickleball for purpose for big group hug, November 7. Sign up.
We will practice.
Put your team in. I have no idea. I've never even seen a pickleball game, but I'm actually looking forward to winning this tournament.
Yes. Well done.
We're going to win, are we?
Yes, we're going to win.
That is quite funny. All right. That's it
We'll
for
have
today.
should we have a live telecast of the, we'll have a podcast running while we're playing. We could just wire our mics up.
But first, we need to play first to see
There will be a strong
anyone's
language
allowed to
warning.
from the other team when they're so embarrassed from being wiped off the court. All right, come on, this is getting out of hand, right? We've never even held a pickleball bat. Are they called bats? Rackets? We don't even know what we're talking about.
Bat?
bat.
It's like, I think it's like mini tennis.
But there's no power.
Yeah, it's,
Power's my strength.
well, you better focus on agility. Move like a cat.
How long have I got? A few weeks. Okay.
You're very agile.
I'm agile-ish.
What do you mean? You can bend like a ballerina. You
That's
weirdo.
true, and I do play multiple games of basketball.
There you go.
Okay, so Pickleball for Purpose, big group hug, November 7, Racky Collective. Let's just start team. We're ready to rock and roll, and let's just